It is a gorgeous day in Thiensville, Wisconsin on the Milwaukee River. I just launched from that park behind me. One thing I wanted to take a minute to acknowledge is that a lot of people give me grief for not always wearing a life jacket. And rightfully so. You should always wear one. I tend to get slack about it when I'm on my home lake that I know really well and the conditions are really calm. But I've never paddled this water before. I don't know how strong of a current there's going to be. I can tell I'm getting pulled just a little bit, but not very much. Anyway, safety first. Always wear a life jacket. Sunblock, eye protection. UV retinal damage is cumulative, so be safe out there. I'm about a mile from launch, where I launched in Thiensville, and I haven't paddled this boat in a couple of years. It's a great little boat. What I'm missing about my longer boats, though, is my 14 and 17 and a half foot boats have rudders. This one does not, and the rudders really help it track a lot straighter than this. So my strokes just aren't as efficient as in my other boats. But this is a lightweight boat. This is a 42-pound boat. Even if you had a small SUV, it's super easy to just pop right up on a roof rack for someone even my height, which is 5'3". This is a great beginner boat. This was my first kayak. It's portable. It's affordable. Under $1,000. Probably get one used for half of that. Not only that, the seat in this boat is the most comfortable seat I've ever sat in any of my boats. I can and have sat in this seat for 6 or 8 hours, and it's still comfortable. I've seen geese and turtles and some kind of waterfowl, not even a fancy one. Not a lot of wildlife today, which is a little disappointing. You know what I miss? I miss paddling in Florida. I like the excitement of seeing alligators. This is the first fish I've seen all day. Can anybody identify it? So here's a pro tip if you're a newbie, and it sounds kind of like common sense, but if you're going to river paddle, go upriver first. I have made this mistake. Wow, this is an easy paddle. And before you know it, you're 4 miles away, and it was easy breezy. And then you turn back and you've got current and you're already getting a little bit tired. Honestly, I don't river paddle very often. The Wisconsin River is just not super convenient to where I live. And if you're cool with paddling upriver, that's good. I mean, I'm doing it right now. But if you really want a river trip, the logistics just start to get stupid. I mean, usually you want to do it with somebody, you got to leave a vehicle at the takeout, and then you spend as much time with the logistics of leaving a vehicle and leaving your crap that it just doesn't seem worth it to me.
Distance 3.0 miles. Average pace 21 minutes 37 seconds per mile. Split pace 20 minutes 26 seconds per mile. So a 20-minute mile, 20-minute mile is pretty slow. I'm not used to paddling up a current. I mean, on flat water, 15, 14, 13 minutes. It's pretty good. But I'm going up against a current here. And I've got my wee little 12-foot boat that's not as fast. Does anybody else, when they see a tiny little boarded up house like that, just get wildly curious what's inside? I do.
I mean, not enough to trespass, but I've gone 4 miles without even a bridge, so it was a nice little stretch without any interruption. Chances are the current is going to get just a wee bit stronger here, but not much. Based on how it looks on my map, it's going to be a little bit more isolated after this road. So if I think I go much past this bridge, I'm going to start hearing banjos. So you know what that means? That means I'm going past the bridge. I mean, a lot of bigger bridges, the waterway gets a little bit more narrow. So as I approach a bridge like this, if I'm going upriver, I always give it everything I've got because I'm anticipating that the current is going to get a little bit stronger. So I'm really conscious of, really conscious of reading the river and approaching with caution when I'm going under a bridge. This is not a wide waterway. It doesn't narrow at the side of the bridge, so no big deal, but it's something I'm always aware of. The stretch of the Milwaukee River from Thiensville north 5 miles has been a real interesting mix of maybe a third to half of it just natural, not developed. The half that is developed, part of the houses are just run down, dilapidated Sanford and Son looking houses. Then the other ones are these giant monstrosities out in the river. Like some of those over there. Hi. Yeah, I'm afraid this is just a taste of summer. It's a tease. I've come to a fork in the road. Well, a fork in the waterway, I guess, would be more accurate. I am no Pocahontas, and you know what? Can you see that? I would be totally lost without this thing. My handy sports tracker app. I mean, I mostly use it because I have been keeping track of my miles since 2010. But man, if I couldn't see that live picture of where I was, I'd be going in all kinds of directions. I'm getting blown down river just a little bit, but I'm going to put this down and pick up my paddle. So remember how a minute ago I mentioned GPS and how I don't know anybody lives without them? Well, look at the bonehead move I made. With the GPS, I still went the wrong way. No big deal. I mean, it's probably less than 10 minutes in here, but oh well. Reverse course. Right turn, Clyde. Back on course. Disappointing that the only wildlife I've seen are these assholes. So annoying. since I came up this way. About 8.5 miles into my 10-mile paddle today. I'm not only going with the current, but I've got the wind at my back a little bit, so this is easy peasy. So if you heard that, I'm obviously not going for speed today. It's an awfully long time to be working on 9 miles. But I'm not out for speed today, and obviously the first half was against the current, so it's hard to really compare that with my flat water miles that I usually do at home. I'm back to the launch, but I'm only at 9.5 miles, so that means I'm going to have to paddle in circles for half a mile. When I set out to do 10 miles, I do 10 miles. I'm not going to, it's kind of like a superstitious thing. Just wrapping up my 10 miles on the Milwaukee River. Ooh, suddenly got a little extra sunny here. Thumbs up. I'm looking forward to exploring other parts of the river. There's a couple of dams between here and the city. I think there's one in Mequon. There's actually one right downriver from where I launched in Thiensville. I think maybe next time I'll launch below that dam and explore that part of the river. I'm also kind of looking forward to a more urban paddle, maybe launching right downtown. I've paddled downtown Chicago on the Chicago River with a group, architectural tour. I've heard it's not as safe these days with tour boats and whatnot, so I would still do that in a group, but I'm not sure I'm going to solo paddle on the Chicago River. As I explore further south on the Milwaukee River, I'm going to kind of judge as I get closer to the city how much traffic is out there. Oh.
Time 3 hours 32 minutes 31 seconds. Total distance 10.0 miles. Average pace 21 minutes 18 seconds per mile. Split pace 19 minutes 52 seconds per mile.
And that's okay. That's my 10 miles. Back to launch. See you next time. Timing worked out really well. Looks like some storms are coming in. I'm off the water. Loaded up. Ready to leave.